my Flosstube neighbors. I am Chris, and this is Xrossstitch. And today is Tuesday, September 28th, 2021, and this is Flosstube number 20. Wow, that's interesting to hear myself say, Flosstube number 20. And boy, what a video we have in store for today. So much stuff, so exciting. I'm so thrilled to have you here with me today, and if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for finding me or just seeing me in your sidebar and clicking on me and taking a chance. I hope you like what you see here. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but there's a lot more involved with my channel than just cross stitch. So thank you for spending some time with me today. And if you are a returning viewer, you are my family. You're my neighborhood. We have reached 4,000 subscribers. I just can't tell you how grateful I am. I can't tell you how surprised I am that what I, did as a lark at a low point in my life a few months ago would become such a beacon of joy in it. And it's all because of each and every one of you, your constant interactions, your support, your love, and the fun we have together here. So today it might be a tad longer than my usual length videos, just because there's so much that I want to cover, and I don't want to give anything short shrift. That's very hard to say, short shrift. So let's begin this video the way we begin every video, by naming Handstanding Cat. Handstanding Cat is the top of Tiki, Tree of a Thousand Faces, which is no longer behind me in my frame here, but here's a picture of Handstanding Cat so that you can see. I had so many great suggestions for names. I couldn't pick just one, so we spin the wheel every week. It's going, as you see. Let's see what name Handstanding Cat has this week. Okay. There were overwhelmingly, there were a lot of this one. So many that I couldn't even list them on the wheel. So I do not know who all suggested this, but I know a lot of you suggested this one. Handstanding Cat this week is named Woody. Woody. So many of you came up with that one. So I think it's great on a 4,000 subscriber day that the name was from a lot of the subscribers. So this week, Handstanding Cat is named Woody. Let's talk a bit about Ted's Change Jar. Ted's Change Jar is a way that we are raising money until the end of the year for Dolly's Imagination Library, which provides children under the age of 5 with a book a month until they reach the age of 5. It's a fabulous program. Many of you have had family members who have benefited from this, and reading is something I believe in. As you all know, I believe in it very dearly, and I have an update for you. Through the comments and through the Buy Me a Coffee link, which is listed below, we are at $1,000 raised for Dolly's Imagination Library. That means 40 children will be able to benefit from this program next year. And again, I think that that's just an amazing thing to report to you on this particular day of all days. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for commenting. Thank you to those of you who have contributed at the Buy Me a Coffee link. I see each and every one. Thank you so much. We're doing really good stuff here, and I couldn't be happier with it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we're going to get to the cross stitching in just a second, because there's a lot of cross stitching this week. It's just lots to show you. But first of all, we have to talk about the chili sauce. I don't know why I called it pepper sauce instead of chili sauce. All I can say is there have been many years between then and now And I'm sure a lot of brain cells killed in between because I was in the theater. But, but let me just say, I called it the wrong thing. It's chili sauce. And so many of you were just great for sending me recipes and suggestions. And boy, I have a ton of good recipes I want to try now. But we figured it out. We figured it out when we discovered that I was calling it the wrong thing. It was chili sauce, not pepper sauce. And here's something else I want to tell you. So many of you said, well, we had that, but it was called chow chow. I loved chow chow too. We had chow chow too, but this was different. It's not a lot different. In fact, it may only be different in the spices and the preparation of it, but chow chow for me was very finely chopped. It was like the same consistency as pickle relish. Chili sauce wasn't. Chili sauce was chunkier and had, it was, when you got a hunk of bell pepper, you got a good hunk of bell pepper. It was just two different things to us. But the first, I have to specifically thank two viewers, Christine R. and Kathy G. Those two viewers, almost within seconds of each other, emailed me, and they both had recipes that were the thing. They both came from older canning books. One may have come from her personal stash, but one for sure came from a canning book. And it was, sure enough, called chili sauce. So we found it. I'm going to post that recipe from that canning book, I guess in the show notes. I'll put them in the show notes because it's not that hard. But I will post that below because many of you said that you would like it when I found it. So, but oh, what fun. What fun over the past week, just getting those recipes and sharing memories and stories of your recipes and the things that you had growing up. And we may even start a new segment here at Xrossstitch, which is a recipe feature. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. We'll see. I can see myself now becoming the Martha Stewart of Flosstube too. I don't know that I want that necessarily, although we do share the same birthday. Anyway, moving on. Thank you so much for all those recipes, and I can't wait to share with you my first jar of chili sauce. On to the cross stitching. I have a fully finished object to show you, and it is right behind me on the dresser. Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street. I love this. I love her so much. She was a beast to frame. This is a custom frame that I ordered from a company called Frame It Easy, and they are wonderful because you can literally give them the specifications, the dimensions of the frame that you need. And I got this in 4 days. It's a great company. I'll post the link below. They usually, they only ship plexiglass, if I'm not mistaken, and there are not that many different choices of frame types, but you can do wood and you can do metal. I went with a wood on this one. It's actually a distressed wood. It doesn't look that distressed, but you can see the wood grain in it. And I stitched this on a piece of just random Amazon, bought it off Amazon, Ada, which was super duper stiff. And even after wetting it and ironing it and wetting it and ironing it, it still stayed super duper stiff. I don't know why. So this was hard to frame. I opted to not keep the plexi on the front of it. It is an exposed front because I didn't get a mat for it. I wanted this to fit very closely around the edges. And I'm totally happy with how it turned out. It was difficult to pin it with that stiff fabric, and I had to do a little machination in the back of it so that when I pushed the little dealies to hold it in, that it didn't buckle, but I couldn't be happier with it. And I'm just so pleased, and it looks great with everything else, and I'm just so happy about it. So there's Halloween Cat, a fully finished object. So pleased. Here's what you weren't expecting. I finished something else. Yes, I did. I finished something else, and this is huge. I finished my very first piece stitched on linen. This is Basket of Cherries from Blackbird Designs. And I'm going to do the magic of going in close to the camera and then merge to a photograph. I wanted to stitch on things I hadn't touched in a while this past week. And I pulled this out and realized that I didn't have much more to do on it. I had tackled the bird, I had tackled the basket and all the cherries. It was mostly just leaves and all the surrounding motifs, and I got on a roll. And the more I stitched, the more I loved it. The more I stitched, the more I loved the colors of the floss that I chose for this, because this had a DMC conversion in the pattern, but crazy me didn't realize that the two numbers after the over-dye that she called for, foolish me didn't realize that the two numbers you were supposed to blend, the DMC you were supposed to blend. So I just thought, oh, well, I can choose which number. So a lot of this chart, like all the cherries, should have been blended, but they aren't. And I love it. I don't care. The bird, I just used, I think it was a classic Colorworks called Old Blue Paint. I love it. So many things diverged on this, but I could not be more pleased with the vibrancy of the colors. It's an amazing design, and as are all Blackbird designs, as you well know. It's easy to see why they are so loved as a company. I'm so proud of this. I am so proud of this. You just do not know. And to have it completed is it's just a thrill. This fabric is doubled. I have enough to do another one. I won't be because it's the loosest linen I've ever seen in my life. But I'm so thrilled to have another finish today. Can't wait to get this one framed too. This is a 4x4 design, so I can easily find a 5x5 frame. And this is linen, so it'll be much easier for me to pin. I may not go with Frame It Easy for this one. I may just try to find something more vintagey looking. Even though my house is not vintage at all, I think the frame, this design needs something a little more rustic looking. But I'm so happy to share with you my first linen finish, Basket of Cherries, Garden Club Series #1 by Blackbird Designs. So on to WIPs, Works in Progress. I worked on 2 other things this week, aside from my Basket of Cherries finish. I worked on Miss Cherry Blossom. Gosh, it's a cherry themed day today. Miss Cherry Blossom is my very first Mirabilia. It is a tribute to my Uncle Jimmy and his time in Japan. That's about 2 videos back. That story, but I'm loving it. It's tedious. I'll be honest. It's tedious. Mirabilias are no joke. They are no joke. But boy, are they beautiful. I didn't do much on this. Again, I'm scrambling for finding. I just haven't had big chunks of stitching time. Well, I finished something. I guess I did have enough time, but did a little more on it. I'm loving every stitch of it. Can't wait to get more done. I'm hopeful. I'm going to probably focus on this one this coming week. But that's a work in progress for this week. If you are stitching your first Mirabilia as well, please join the hashtag #FirstMirabiliaSal. This is a hashtag that my friend Vanessa over at Seams Stitchy Flosstube and I created. She wrote me when she found out I was going to be working on this, and she said, let's do a hashtag for our first Mirabilias, and I said, sure, let's do it. So she is also in the Under 1,000 Subs Club. So if you haven't checked her out, please do so. She's great. And if you are working on your first Mirabilia, please join us so that we can see what what everyone's doing, and we can cheer each other along. I also worked this week on my Star Wars Dimension kit, Luke and Princess Leia. This is also kind of tedious. I'm working on a lot of tedious things. I don't pick easy charts. The black Ada is absolutely fine. This is all still tent stitching thus far. This is all complete. What you're seeing now, it's only, half cross. But the tedium is in the blending of these sections, because it's lovely when you take a step back. It's like an impressionistic painting, the way all these little things go together to make this kind of lovely wash of dark blues and blues. But it's hard to stitch. I had to kind of fudge a couple of things. I messed up in one little spot, 3-4 stitches, that I shifted over, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to adjust the exhaust of one of the X-Wing fighters, make it go over a little bit more. You never will know. But I'm excited to get to some actual cross stitching on this one. It's fun to stitch on. And man, you can just go. When you're tent stitching, you can just, la la la, and get a lot done. But this was the other work in progress that I touched this week. So, as you know, I had planned on doing 4 starts during the month of September. Miss Cherry Blossom, Luke and Princess Leia, Modern Folk Embroidery, Spirits of the Dead, and the Nutcracker Tree. We discussed my snafu with Spirits of the Dead by Modern Folk Embroidery last week, and that I just couldn't stitch on that black linen. Well, as you always do, you rallied around me. And one of my wonderful viewers, Lissa, sent me a couple of photographs, and she's like, if you want this, I will send it to you. And I said, yes, I do want this. Thank you so very much. So this is a little bit of the Happy Mail portion brought forward, but she sent me this beautiful piece. This is Ada. This is a 16 count Ada. This is what I'm hoping to do Spirits of the Dead on now. It's a little lighter than I thought it was going to be, so I may dip it in a black dye. I may do a slight dip in a black dye. I don't want to lose this amazing modeling. And I know I will lose some of the lighter, but that's okay, because remember, I'm stitching it in white, an off-white. Perfect size piece, great Ada, nice and soft. Lissa, thank you so much. She not only sent that, but she also sent me a lovely piece of a buttery yellow, which I can't wait to do something on. Isn't that beautiful? And a hysterical birthday card, belated birthday card. It's, you're getting older when? Thanks, Lissa. Just kidding. You're getting older when your knees buckle and your belt won't. You're getting older when you're getting older when your back goes out more often than you do. That is so true. That is so very true. You're getting older when you can only burn the midnight oil until 9 o'clock. That is my life right now. Thank you very much. But Lissa, thank you so much for this lovely Ada. Another of my viewers, I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm not going to show it. Another of my viewers is sending me another piece of Ada as well. My lovely viewer, Rebecca. So I'm going to wait on that one and see which one is going to be the best. But rest assured, I treasure these things and I will put them to good use. And these fabrics I can't part with for giveaways. So they will eventually go into my own projects. So thank you so much, Lissa. I really do appreciate that. But that's where we are on Spirits of the Dead start. As far as the Nutcracker Tree start, again, thwarted by my fabric, bad planning on Christopher's part, I think what I've decided to do for it, and one of my viewers suggested this a long time ago when I first showed that chart in Hall, that I do it on a royal blue with a white Krynic or a sparkly thread. Don't know if I can handle that much stitching with a sparkle thread. I'm not really crazy about it. Drives me bananas. But if you know of one that you like that's white or opalescent, that's not hard to stitch with, please let me know, because what I think I'm going to do is the royal blue back and all white, and it would be lovely to have the sparkle. So that's going to be gorgeous. But both of those patterns, my Spirits of the Dead start and my Nutcracker tree start, are not going to be September starts. They're going to be October starts. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. There are no rules. The only rule is that it brings you joy, and that you love what you're stitching. So thank you for all your feedback and your support. And I can't wait to at least show you hopefully one of those starts, not the Nutcracker tree, but hopefully Spirits of the Dead I will have started by the beginning of October. This week, we normally would be doing a Chris's Toy Chest segment, but we're not. Because this is a special day, and because I was specifically thinking a lot about her over this past week, we're going to do another Wheel of Stories day. And it's largely because of this. As I was working on this over the weekend, I was thinking a lot about my grandmother, and specifically her love of those amazing dark chocolate covered cherry cordials. She had a sweet tooth, and she loved those things. I loved them too. And, you know, they were special things for us. We wouldn't get them in the grocery store all year round. They would usually come out around the holidays, those cherry cordials, candy cherries, whatever you want to call them. But my grandmother loved them. So I was thinking a lot about her when I was stitching this. And I was thinking about a specific thing that happened with us. And it really starts with me, because I was a little devil when I was a little bitty boy. As I mentioned, I was raised by my mother and my grandmother and my great aunt Johnny May. And for the first few years of my life, they and my extended family were really all that I knew. I was on a street, as I've said, that was populated by widowed women, and there weren't any other children around. Of course, there were, you know, my cousins and children in the church, and etc. But I hadn't been around a whole lot of other children by the time I was ready for kindergarten. And when it was time for me to go to kindergarten, you know, I think I was excited about it in the build up to it. But just like a lot of other children, on that very first day of school, you know, mother took me there and dropped me off at the trailer, because we only had 3 kindergarten classes, then they were in trailers out behind the elementary school building on the other side of the playground. You know, she dropped me off in Miss Carpenter's trailer, and I bawled my eyes out, just like several other children. And mother left, and, you know, we all got settled down. Everybody wiped their noses on their sleeve and went about, you know, their business, making candles or whatever it was we did in kindergarten back then. But not me. Not me. Because it being hot in Alabama, the trailer door was open. And I saw a getaway route. So when Miss Carpenter wasn't looking, I tore out of that trailer, across the playground, right next to my Uncle Henry and Aunt Hattie Clove's house, and they were both sitting out on the porch. Hey! Tore across the street, which I did stop and look both ways, and it was Sulligent. There weren't any cars on the road. and in front of my Aunt Clara's house, took a right turn at the ditch, hopped the ditch at the shallow part, ran behind the Methodist church and into our backyard, up our back porch, through the back porch, and into the kitchen where Granny and Johnny May were having coffee. I literally lived a block away from the schoolhouse. And that entire run took me all of 5 minutes probably. I was fast. I was a toddler on a mission. So Granny didn't, she didn't take me back to school that day. She just let me stay home because she missed me and Johnny May missed me, and, I got away with it. Mother was none too pleased when she got home that afternoon from work. The next morning, I was taken back to kindergarten, and this time they shut the door. So it took me longer in the day, but at about midday when we went out for recess, I was gone. Gone, like a flash. Slippier than an eel. Back across the ditch, back beside Aunt Clara's house. Uncle Henry had to close the whole 9 yards, back home. So Mother got home that evening, and she had a long telephone conversation with the principal of our school, in which they decided to let me stay at home from kindergarten the rest of the year because I could already read and I could already write basic, my printing alphabet. So I didn't go to kindergarten. And then first grade rolls around, and I tried to do the same thing. It was harder, but the first day, again, at recess, I ran away and I got home, and they were amazed by my powers of escape. But first grade, they weren't going to let me skate by so easily. So my grandmother every day came to our school, and she sat outside my classroom on a little stool next to the water fountain so that I could see her through the window of the door. This was an old schoolhouse, like built in the 30s schoolhouse. I mean, there were many rooms, but it was an old building, with a creaky floor, and you could smell the radiators, and, so there were pane glass doors. So I could look out whenever I got scared and see my grandmother sitting there. She just sat there. She just sat there to be near me, to give me security. That's who she was. That's who my grandmother was. And that's why this weekend, when I was stitching on my basket of cherries and thinking about her love for cherries, I was thinking a lot about her. So this is for her. I didn't pick it for her when I started it, but boy, has this become her piece. One of many, I'm sure. And I never thanked her for that. I never thanked her for sitting with me. For 2 weeks, she did that. And she started, about middle of the second week, she was able to go home during lunchtime. Even earlier and earlier and earlier, till towards the end of the second week, she was only there for about 30 minutes to an hour. But thank you, Granny, for doing that for me. It turned out okay. Thank you so much. And this is for you. I hope these are not turning into my personal therapy sessions. Anyway, let's move on to a little haul. I got this a few weeks ago. I just haven't shown it yet, but I got a beautiful project bag. This is one I purchased. It's not one that was gifted to me, but this is one of Tammy Blaylock, who is Creative Country Girl on Flosstube. She makes these. They're beautiful, and sells them. And this is one of her Halloween themed bags. You can't really tell that it's Halloween other than the colors at first, but when you look more closely, you can see that there are witches' hats and little black cats and tombstones, and it's all Halloween motif there. And actually my Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place is in here right now. So I just wanted to show that. Tammy is wonderful. Along with this, she sent a little extra to me, which I am going to be using in a giveaway today. So more on that in just literally a second, but I wanted to thank her for this. It's beautiful. So Creative Country Girl Project bag. So big giveaway today and a giveaway winner today. The first thing I would like to do is announce the winner of last week's giveaway, which was the Halloween cat chart and JBW Designs Kitties in the Round chart. This was so many, they're both adorable. And so many of you, we had a lot of people throwing their hat in the ring for this particular giveaway. I did the drawing today at noon, and the winner of both Halloween Cat and JBW Designs Kitties in the Round is Sandy Alford. Sandy, you won. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Please send me an email and send me your address, and I will get those out to you. By the way, I know a lot of you received a whole flurry of my giveaway prizes recently. If you have won a giveaway in the past 2 or 3 weeks, they're not out yet, but they're gonna go out. They will go out this week, I promise. Again, I'm being very judicious about when I venture. So they're coming, they're coming, I promise they're coming. But Sandy, give me your address and I will get that, probably send that out with the other batch. But let's talk about today's big giveaway to celebrate 4,000 subscribers. Again, I'm just over the moon, but we're gonna do a fun giveaway today. Because of 4,000, I'm having 4 giveaway prizes. And here they are. The first giveaway prize, I'm going to be doing some reaching here, so I apologize. The first, and some of the, I'm not giving you, bars of gold. I noticed that these are small, but it's just a way of me saying thank you. And these are all, these giveaways are all from the generosity of viewers who have sent me things. So I appreciate you for doing that. The first is going to be 2 little charts. One is Bent Creek's Pumpkin Flower Sampler, and one is Twisted Threads Autumn Pumpkin. These are 2 older charts, little charts. These are super fast stitches, but if you would like and there's a theme to today's giveaways too. You'll see what the theme is. If you would like to be considered for these 2, please use the word pumpkin in your comment. Pumpkin. 2 little charts. That's number 1. Number 2, 2 more of my friend Judy at JBW Designs little charts. This is the Rooster bundle, and the code word for this is Rooster. 2 little rooster charts that she has. One is the Antique Rooster Sampler, and one is the French Country Rooster. These are just so adorable. This is kind of her little trademark that she does. The overall design is composed of smaller motifs inside, which I think is brilliant. So if you want to be considered for this one, please use the word rooster in your comment. The third giveaway is a Little House Needleworks chart. This is called One More Stitch, and it was designed by Diane. This is an older chart too, copyright 2016, designed by Diane Williams. But if you would like to be considered for this chart, please use the word homestead. Homestead. Now, I was going to use stitch, but I thought that's tedious to use in a Flosstube for commenters because you could put stitch in there and may already have this. So that's why we're using the word homestead. So homestead, rooster, pumpkin. See where I'm going with this? the last giveaway is a wonderful project bag. This was donated by my friend Melanie, who has an Etsy store, Stitchy Sasanak. And I will, of course, link that below. But you've seen this before. It is the Farmyard project bag. Beautiful. With the fun, blingy zipper pull. It's got cows and geese and chicks and ducks and geese better scurry. That's from that show I don't like. Farm fresh every day, it's got on there. But this is an adorable project bag. This comes with rooster and pig floss drops and a little farm charm. It comes with a matching needle book, and in there is a little scissor point protector. And I'm also throwing in a little gift from Tammy at Creative Country Girl, a farm truck with a pumpkin on it. So if you would like this little bundle, the kind of the grand bundle, please use the word farm. So you see the theme: farm, homestead, pumpkin, rooster. It's all down on the farm. But the code word for this is farm. Again, please be over the age of 18 so I can ask you for your address. Please do not use the word giveaway or prize or anything like that in your comment. Please like the video and be a subscriber to the channel. And I will draw all these next week today, probably at about noon, right before I film, and I will announce those next week. But thank you so much. The reason for doing all this is to spread the love and spread the kindness, this collective community of kindness. And thank you for getting me to 4,000 subscribers. I'm just so thrilled to be able to interact with so many of you and to hear from so many of you literally all over the world. It means the world to me. And I know I keep gushing about you all, but what the heck, you need to be gushed over because you're all fantastic. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This week was the first week that I was unable to respond to all the comments from the previous week. I'm so sorry. It's getting a little bit, there's a lot, and I love it. And I am still committed to responding to each of you. Just know that it's taking me a little long. I'm gonna still work through them. And I may, this week after this one, I'm probably gonna get a whole bushel full of more comments, but that's okay. I will continue plodding through them because I do want to respond to you. I do still believe that if you take the time to write me, that I can at least write you a thank you back. Because that to me is the joy of doing this. The joy of getting, of getting comments and talking to you and saying hello to you and seeing the support you have, not only for me, but for each other. That's what I love about this channel. I'm probably the cheesiest channel on Flosstube, but I don't care. I do not care. I think we live in a cynical world, and we need a little cheese every now and then. So at least good cheese. You don't want bad cheese. Stinky cheese. Some stinky cheese can be very good though. So that's it for today's video. Once again, I've really loved spending time with you. I've been so thrilled to be able to show you my FFO, my finish, to share some stories with you, to talk about recipes, to just be together and to celebrate the milestone of 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Those of you who have written me questions, don't think I've forgotten about them. I'm holding them. We're going to do probably a special, maybe a special question episode. I'm pondering doing Stitch with Me's. I'm pondering doing live streams. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, but I'm thinking about doing those things. So maybe in the next few weeks, we'll be moving on to that. But At any rate, have a wonderful week ahead. I wish you a peaceful week. I wish you a happy week of stitching or whatever you choose to do with your time. Thank you for spending some time with me this week, and until next week, take care.